working with keyframe interpolation. So I got up here, I have just an image. We can do this with a clip or an image, but I have an image. And I have set it to 25%. I'm going to come over here and click on my position. And I'm going to double click on my little image here. I'm going to drag this thing over here towards the left. And I'm going to come in here and key in a value, say -500. And I'll hit enter right there. Now, so at this point I have a keyframe right here created. And now I'm going to come over here and drag my playhead to the end of this. And I'm going to come over here and create a keyframe. And you say I have one over here. I'm going to place this one, say, at about, maybe 500. And so, when we look at this, I should just be able to play this thing, and it goes right across the screen. Okay? Now, if I were to pick on this keyframe right here, now it's blue, and I right-click, and I go to my temporal interpolation, I noticed that was lineal. A lineal is the default keyframe interpolation, and it gives it a uniform rate of change between those two keyframes, which is a constant speed. Let's change it to Bezier. Alright, now I'm going to slide this over here in the middle. I'm going to click on this here, and you now can come a hole and grab this and pull this up, and I can control then the shape of this object or graph object here. And I'm just going to come over here and I'll place it something like this, and now this is going to follow this shape. Alright, so the Bezier allows us to create smooth curved adjustments. So now, and you see I've added in now a new keyframe. So I'm going to come along here and say, whoa, that's what we're looking like here if I just scrub across this. So I'm going to bring this back to the beginning. I'm going to hit the play, and you can see how it brings it up and down on that curve. Okay, so that is a Bezier method. Now, if I were to pick this and right click, there are an auto Bezier, which just makes it a uniform, smooth rate of change. It's kind of an automatic method of doing the Bezier. And then there's a continuous Bezier, which is kind of like the auto, but it has a little bit of manual control. And then we have hold. So let's do a hold now. I'm going to come over here and slide this right into between, right about, say, right about in here. And I'm going to create a keyframe. And right here I created a keyframe. I'm going to pick on it, right click, and I'm going to go down and choose a hold. And what a hold will do is it's going to hold it, freeze it in place until it hits the next keyframe. And then that keyframe will take over. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to hit the play. It freezes, hits the next keyframe, and then continues on with it. Alright, so the hold freezes it. So this is our hold keyframe, and it freezes it in that position. Remember, if we want to get rid of any particular one, all we have to do is highlight it and say delete, and now we can come back and we can play it, and now we're back to the Bezier interpolation method. Okay, and if I delete this one and bring it back, alright, and I hit play, and now we are still on the Bezier because we didn't switch it back. I'd have to switch it to linear to get it back to just a straight line method. Okay, so if I double click on here, you see, yeah, it's straight line, but we have a little issue with our anchor point there that's dropping us down. So We can work with keyframe interpolations by right-clicking on the keyframe and changing our types. I'm going to right-click, and we can change our types. Typically, we're using linear and Bezier to put curves or straight lines, but a hold is just a good way of put a temporary hold, I guess you could say, on the transition until we hit our next keyframe.